So you're aiming for the Indian Civil Services, right? Then you already know the official notification is, well, it's your Bible. But let's be real for a second. It can be a total beast to get through. That's exactly why we're here. In this explainer, we're going to cut right through all that noise. We're breaking down the official UPSC 2026 notification into a simple, actionable guide so you can focus on what really matters, your prep. Ready? Let's dive in. Okay, so everything, and I mean everything, starts with the UPSC. We're talking about the body that runs one of the toughest, most competitive exams on the entire planet. This is what opens the doors to those legendary services you've heard about, the IAS, the FIS, the IPS. If you want in, this right here is your gateway. And for 2026, the opportunity, it's massive. We're looking at roughly 933 vacancies up for grabs. Think about that. That's 933 chances to join the ranks of India's top bureaucracy. Now, that's a pretty significant number, which of course means one thing. The competition is going to be absolutely fierce. Yeah, a number like 933, it can feel both super inspiring and, let's be honest, kind of intimidating, right? So the big question is, where do you even begin? How do you turn that dream into a real plan? Well, it all starts with the most important thing, the timeline. Let's get into it. All right, first things first, we're diving into the key dates and deadlines. This is the stuff you absolutely cannot miss, so let's get right to it. Okay, listen up. These are the 3 dates you need to burn into your memory. February 4th, 2026, that's when the notification drops. Then you have until February 24th, and listen, it's at 6 p.m. sharp to get your application in. And finally, the big one, your first hurdle, the preliminary exam is on May 24th. And I gotta stress this. That application deadline is a hard stop. There are absolutely no exceptions. Okay, before you even start dreaming about study plans or filling out forms, we have to talk about the very first hurdle. Are you eligible? It really just boils down to 3 core requirements. Let's check them off, one by one. First up is nationality. And this is a really important distinction, so pay close attention. If you're gunning for the big 3, that's the IIS, IFS, or IPS, you absolutely must be a citizen of India, period. Now, for the other services, the rules are a little more flexible. Citizens of Nepal, Bhutan, and a few other specific categories can also be eligible. Next up, your age. The window here is super specific. You've got to be between 21 and 32 years old as of August 1st, 2026. So what does that actually mean? It means you need to be born between August 2nd, 1994 and August 1st, 2005. They're very strict about this. No wiggle room at all. And the third thing is your education. Simple enough. You need a graduate degree from a recognized university. But, and this is a big one for a lot of you out there, if you're in your final year or maybe you're just waiting on your results, you can still apply. You just have to be able to show proof that you've passed before you get to the interview stage of the main exam. So don't let that stop you. All right, so you've checked all the boxes. You're eligible. Awesome. Now for the practical part. Actually navigating that online application portal. I know. It can seem a little complicated, but don't worry. We're going to walk through it step by step. The whole thing is really broken down into 4 clear steps. First, you'll create your account. Easy. Second, you complete what's called the universal registration to get your permanent number, the URN. Third, you fill out the Common Application Form, or CAF. And last, you submit the specific module just for the 2026 Civil Services exam. That's it. So let's talk a little more about that URN, the Universal Registration Number. The best way to think of it is like your permanent ID for the UPSC. You only have to register for it once, and then it's yours for life, for any exam you ever take with them. That's why it's so important that you don't accidentally create more than one. Okay, now here's a detail you absolutely cannot miss. It's a bit unusual. While you're filling out the form, you literally have to take a live photo of yourself right then and there using your device's camera. So, when you sit down to apply, make sure you're somewhere with good lighting and you're ready for that little impromptu photo shoot. And here's another one of those super specific instructions, this time about your signature. You don't just upload a picture of one signature. Nope. You have to sign your name 3 times, one right below the other, on a plain white piece of paper, and then upload an image of that. It seems like a tiny detail, but trust me, getting this wrong can completely derail your application. Okay. Application submitted. Great job. Now let's zoom out and look at the big picture, the exam plan itself. You can think of it as a two-stage challenge, a real gauntlet designed to test you from every angle. So, stage one is the preliminary exam. This is all objective, multiple choice questions. Its only purpose is to act as a screening test. If you clear that, you get to move on to stage two, the main exam. That's where you'll have written papers and a deep dive interview. This is the stage that decides the final selection. So let's focus on that first hurdle for a second, the prelims. It's all multiple choice, but, and you really need to hear this, you get penalized for wrong answers. There's a negative marking system. That means you can't just guess wildly. You have to be strategic. Your score here, and only here, is what determines if you even get a chance to write the main exam. Okay, think about it. You've prepared for months, maybe even years. You've navigated the entire application process. The very last thing you want is for a simple, avoidable mistake on exam day to ruin everything. So let's go over the absolute must-know rules for when you're in that exam hall. These rules are completely non-negotiable. Number one, you have to arrive at least 30 minutes before the start time. Number two, be ready for mandatory face authentication right there at the venue. And number three, there is zero, and I mean zero, tolerance for being late. If you're not there on time, you simply will not be allowed in. End of story. And let's be crystal clear about this next one. Electronic devices are strictly banned. All of them. That includes your phone, even if it's switched off. Smartwatches, Bluetooth earbuds, pen drives, you name it. Leave it all at home. Seriously. Getting caught with any of these doesn't just mean disqualification. It could mean getting banned from future exams. And hey, don't just take my word for it. The official notification itself puts it this way, and I'm quoting here. Candidates are advised in their own interest not to bring any of the banned items, as no arrangement for safekeeping will be made. So the takeaway is simple, right? The exam center isn't going to hold your stuff for you. The safest, smartest policy is just don't bring it. So you see, from getting those deadlines right to following every little rule on exam day, every single detail we've just talked about really, really matters. This long, demanding journey from applicant to officer, it all starts right here with these first few well-prepared steps. So, we've cracked the code of the notification, we've laid out the path for you, and the opportunity, it's huge. We're talking over 900 posts on the line. Now, the only question that's left is the one only you can answer. What are you going to do to prepare?